Yo, 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 what up? What's going on? What's going on, folks? It's your boy Chef. What's poppin', family? How's everybody doing tonight? Queen Nita, what's going on? I see you, Shalisa. E Blizzy, what's going on? Truth. I, I appreciate you, family. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, it's crazy, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. But what I'm gonna do is kick it here for a couple of minutes. Peace, Chris. I'm gonna kick it here for a couple of minutes just till we get some folks up in the spot, right? Because what I'm gonna do is this particular stream, I'm a rock with y'all, but I'm not going to leave it up. I'm not going to leave it up. What I am going to do is leave it unlisted and then I'm going to edit it, you know, and edit it and then you get what I'm saying? This is more so for me when I talk about using, you know, to a certain degree, this is therapy as well. Being able to talk about certain things. One of the homies hit me up earlier. He was like, "Yo, let me know." His words literally like, "Yo, let me know what you want." He was like, "Let me know what you want, chef. You know what I mean? What you want, I want. Even if you want to just chill and go yell into a barrel, I got you. You know, it's dope. It's dope. So yeah, man. I hope everybody is, you know, having a good day. Feeling positive. In the light of all of these different things is going on. Peace to young Dolph and the Carter family and his family. You know, regardless of what people feel, regardless of what people feel, you know, that's a life. That's a father. That's a brother. It's a son. So it's definitely something to think about. It's definitely something to think about. And we were talking about purpose yesterday. I mean, earlier, excuse me. Is being rich, does becoming rich, does that define your purpose? Dolph was a millionaire. Multiple, multiple Rolls Royces, Bentleys. He was a millionaire, right? And, but now when you look, and it's time for them to dip that casket in the ground, and they go back to look, because there's people that don't know him. So they go back to look and they start looking back and what they see is the beef. They don't see anything that was done in the community. They see all of these things. And then you start to wonder, so was his purpose? He might have thought his purpose was becoming rich, you know? Sometimes the craziest thing about purpose, it's almost as though the report card for your purpose, you're chasing purpose. The report card for your purpose is printed after you're dead. The report card for your purpose is printed after you're dead. So when we look at purpose, is it true purpose? Is it desires? Is it goals? Now, legacy, because you're using yourself as a tool not for just your own life, but rather for the future. You know, leveraging yourself to create a legacy for your family, sacrificing certain carnal current pleasures in order to have a legacy plan to create wealth for your children's 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 children. Now that's in terms of moving in purpose because your purpose is lasting. You're stretching your purpose out over further generations. But what is purpose? We think it is something. We think it is something. But what is it really? The newspapers write your purpose. The obits, the obituaries write your purpose. Your purpose is what society says you were after you're gone. That's what they're gonna see. But anyway, and I appreciate all the condolences and everything. I definitely appreciate all the condolences coming through. You know, what was crazy is my little sister hit me up last night. She hit me up last night, but the phone, because I was using the phone too with the broadcast, so it was on Do Not Disturb. So I didn't see the call. So at 3 in the morning, I see the call was there. And I was like, just call her in the morning. I thought maybe she saw the show. Man, let me tell you, she hit me in the morning, and I was like, oh shit, I knew something was up. And then she was like, yeah, we call him Poppy Ford, Papi, Poppy Ford, all right? And she was like, yeah, he passed last night. I was like, man, it's crazy. You know, 104 years old, yo. Imagine that. Imagine being born and going through the Great Depression, World Wars, Korean War, Spanish flu, Desert Storm, 9/11. Oh, I skipped Pearl Harbor. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, it's it's a beautiful life. He definitely lived a beautiful life. His all of his sons are the most powerful Haitian doctors in the world, literally. Without you know, when there was a earthquake in Haiti, when the earthquake happened in Haiti, three of his sons literally were the doctors that went to and set up. They set up some medical camps in Haiti. Excuse me. And then one of my uncles, he was actually on the boat on the ship, the USS Vincent, with Sanjay Gupta when they were doing surgery. As a matter of fact, let me pull this up. Right now, for the record, there's no real thing, man. I'm just, kicking it, vibing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull this up. So, tell you. Let me put the StreamYard in for y'all too. Bugging out. Pardon me. So, Daily News. So these are three of his sons. Not his only sons, but these were three. Trying to get these ads out. Three brothers bring healing to Haiti following earthquake. And these are three of my uncles. These are Ford brothers. Jean. It says Henry. It looks like Henry, but it's pronounced Henri. And my uncle Billy. And one runs St. Barnabas. The others ran Brooklyn Hospital and Johns Hopkins. And this is the damn it. I'm not interested. Always trying to sell you some shit. So yeah, and this is the one that runs. He's the head of the University of Miami Medical School. These His son, my grandfather, he sacrificed a lot. He was the minister of the port of Haiti. So his name is, he's stamped on thousands of passports. He's christened tons and tons of children. He has a couple hundred godchildren, if you understand how it works. He put in a lot of work. My grandmother, his wife, she cleaned floors at Columbia University. She cleaned floors at Columbia University so her kids could go there for free. For free. And she put 3 people through that school. You know, 2 of my uncles and then my aunt. You know, this man, this 104-year-old man, the sons that he brought into the world created a legacy at Princeton University. You know, the Ford name is huge. I got family. My uncles met wives there. You know, I've had cousins and family members that were president of student union. So sadness, it's kind of selfish when I think about it. We talk about purpose. Trust me and King ain't set this up. Talk about purpose. Was he rich? Nah. His sons are rich. But was he rich? What did he do? What did he do? Purpose is purpose, yo. He defined it. He defined it. He was not always a man of God. He was originally an agnostic. And he told me about a story. It was crazy. With the story, there was ships that used to come. There's literally, he told me on video. I have a video, but my family's still dealing with this, so you know I can't be insensitive. But where he literally told me the story about how he turned his life to God. So he was the minister of the port. He was assistant minister of the port in Haiti at that time. And of course, there was a lot of smuggling that used to go on. So there's times where there were ships that would be able to dock in at the shore. But there was one particular ship. They know that the owner of the people that ran the ship, they were a little shady. So there was times when they would bring the delivery, send the ships to Haiti. They would use the ships that were too big to be able to dock at the wharf or dock at the pier, which meant that if they wanted to inspect the ship, they had to take a boat or a dinghy out to the ship, and they would always give a problem. Many people would try to bribe him. He was offered tons of bribes, money left at his doorstep. And the one thing they always knew about him, his name is Guillaume Ford. One thing they knew, he was an honorable man. You couldn't pay him shit. You couldn't pay him nothing. So he rode on the dinghy out to the ship. And as he pulled up to the side of the ship, they released the ladder, the rope ladder. Now, the rope ladder obviously is supposed to be affixed to something on the other side. They set him up. Once he put his first foot on, and then he put his second foot onto the ladder, it wasn't affixed. And he went straight down to the bottom. He went straight down to the bottom of the ship. So he's on the side of the ship, and he went straight down. He was clothed. He had equipment. He went down to the bottom. And then he told me, he was like, he felt a hand lift him, and he felt himself going up fast, and a hand lifted him and dropped him on the boat. And what was so crazy is when he was looking, everybody was on the other side of the boat looking down, trying to figure out what they're going to do, what's going on. And he's looking at them. And he told me that story. He said it was the hand of God. And it's deep. So he talk about purpose. During the times of Papa Doc and Baby Doc, and especially Papa Doc with the Duvalier regime, now he's thought he helped a lot of people escape. He saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. There's one beautiful story. There was one beautiful story. And the funny thing is, the person involved in that story told it. She was being abused by her husband. Her name was Williams. She was being abused by her husband. And people knew he was abusing her. You know, very bad, like very bad. And one day, she came through. She tried to go get the passport to leave Haiti. And then when my grandfather saw her, somebody was like, wait, this says Jean Pierre, but you're Williams. I know you, you're Williams. And then she looked at my grandfather and he moved the dude to the side and was like, and he knew what was going on and he understood. The only way she was going to be able to get away from there was to get the hell out of Haiti to go to the US to be with her family. And he was like, I got you covered, Mrs. Jean Pierre. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, he set her free. She told that story. Yeah. So when we talk about purpose, your purpose ends up being the report card that they print after you die. So I'm just flowing stream of consciousness right now. Don't mind me, yo. Yeah. Let me see. Let me lighten the load up real quick. Get them motherfucking likes up. Uh, Peace to King. He'll scream that shit at a funeral. Joking. That's my man, yo. Real talk. Real talk. You know, I'm gonna give him some props that he ain't asked for. I think he ended the show because he was nervous. I could respect that. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Tell y'all a little story. And it's really crazy. So I'm gonna give you the story, but I'm gonna give you the story with the chronology that I learned it. So when I was 30, 'cause my son was born when I was 27. That was my first child, right? I was 27. And the funny story is, I knew my son's name since he was 17. People ain't know that. I knew his name from the time he was 17. I mean, excuse me. I knew his name from the time I was 17 years old. So I'm telling my aunt the story about it. And I was like, she said, how did that happen? Tell me. I was like, well, in my dream, I was walking in a cornfield and it was like the cornfield was closing. And during that time, you know, I had seen that movie, Children of the Corn. So I thought it was a nightmare. And it was like I'm moving and I'm hearing a little rustling and all I see is a chair. And it's like the cornfield is starting to close. So I go sit my ass on the chair. And then all of a sudden you just see like this little kid, like maybe 3 years old, just running back and forth through the cornfield. And I'm getting scared, like, what the hell is this? And I'm looking for where he is, and then all of a sudden he comes from behind and jumps right into my lap and gives me a hug. And it's a little light skinned kid with cornrows, right? With little cornrows. And he gives me a hug. And man, it was like the warmest feeling. You don't I dream in color. I dream in color. I can smell in my dreams. I can taste in my dreams. I can feel in my dreams. And this was the warmest feeling ever. And it's like he's holding me, and then I kind of peel him up. I'm looking at him. He's like, Daddy. I said, huh? He said, You're my daddy. You're my daddy. I was like, huh? Who are you? He said, I'm Zaire. I'm Zaire. You're my daddy. I was 17. So I knew my son's name 10 years before he ever touched down, right? So I was telling my aunt that story, and then she was like, Oh my God, what? And then she told me a story, and it was the story of how I got my name. So I'm a junior, so I inherited my name from my dad. But here was the story, and this is what really freaked me out. She was like, Yo, do you understand how Poppy Ford and Mamisha, your grandmother, how they got together? There was the Jean Louis sisters. They were the most beautiful Christian women in Port-au-Prince. The Ford family was respected. And back then they didn't play around. There was no hot girl summer and stuff, so there was no dating. It was courtship with purpose, respect. And my grandfather, you know, he was supposed to be going to visit to start to court my aunt Cosette, which was my actual grandmother's sister. All right, she was the older sister. He was supposed to go there to start courting her. Well, the night before it happened, and they had all prepared her and everything was crazy. The night before it happened, Jeanne, my grandmother, she had a dream. And in the dream, and this is my aunts are telling me this, she was in a field and she was sitting on a chair. And un petit méchant, that means a little naughty kid, Tigrimel, the light skinned kid, was running back and forth, being naughty, running back and forth. And then he jumped into her lap and gave him, and she was asking who he is, and he said, c'est Chupin, c'est Chupino. And then she's like, huh? And then he said, Papam, Papam, c'est Ford. Papam, c'est Ford. That meant Ford is my pop. So the next day, she woke up. She told her sisters what happened to Dream. And my great aunt Cosette, he was supposed to come and see, she sent her down instead. She sent her down instead. The purpose? Shit. Shit. Homeless people got purpose. So that's how I got my name. That's how I got my name. But yo, listen, uh, thanks for letting me kick it with y'all for a minute. I appreciate you allowing me the catharsis. But I got to go, y'all. Hold it down. Peace and love and light, and thank you. God bless.